Welcome back, everybody. I'm Bob Calvert, founder of TalkingWithHeroes.com. Thank you for your service.us. And we're here again at Freedom Service Dogs of America, 30th year anniversary here in Englewood, Colorado. It's also the grand opening of their new huge location compared to what the place I did last year. And so we're up here in the training room, and I want to introduce you to Mike Connors. And Mike, if you could start out, tell people a little bit about yourself. Sure. And talk about your service, your experiences at Walter Reed, which is kind of all that led you here.
Sure. I'm an 11-year Army war veteran. I served in Iraq, Afghanistan, and in Syria. I was injured in my last tour and spent 2 years at Walter Reed. I had 3 years of canine experience in the military. And while at Walter Reed, I figured out occupational therapy program, taught me how to transfer that to service dog work. So when I moved to Colorado, I found Freedom Service Dogs. I was hired in January, and I've been here ever since. And this has been probably the best place I've worked outside of the military so far.
So did you start out at the old location?
I did not. I actually started at this new location in January.
I don't remember the figures they told me last year, but there was a number of service dogs that the veterans had gotten around the country.
Right.
Do you know how much that is?
Last year we produced, I believe it was 32.
Okay. But with this new facility, this will increase dramatically. Talk about that.
So with this new facility, we've got a lot more kennel space. We've got a lot more training space, which has been very key. We are actually hoping this year will be a transition year where we are bringing in a lot of new dogs, new facility, new trainers. So this year will be about the same. We're at the 32 to 35 range. And next year the hope is to get up to about 50 being placed.
Okay. So let's walk around here a little bit and just tell people what they're seeing.
Sure.
Maybe start right over here.
Yeah, we can start right over here. So on this side, this is our training space where we've got, you'll see mannequins and all of this furniture that's in this apartment space to my left here. This was donated by IKEA. The idea is we're going to give this dogs that are in training the idea of living in a household where they're going to have real furniture and a real scenario that they would have to operate in. In this area, you'll have light switches and furniture that needs to be moved. There's phones that they'll have to obtain. There's also things that they will have to be able to navigate around, like in these purposes, we have 2 cats that currently live up here in this area. They are probably hiding under the couches with the amount of people. Yeah, there's 2 now. They are probably hiding under the couches, but there are 2 cats up here to help the dogs get used to it. So as you can see behind all of our guests here, one of our trainers, Kathy, is currently doing a demo with one of our dogs, Stellar, who you can see here. Stellar is one of our service dogs that was placed and then came back to us for medical reasons and now performs demos for us all of the time. She's regularly doing this about 5 days a week. So if we move a little closer, Stellar is fully capable of opening the fridge and going under it. That would be up to the trainer, Kathy. So she's going to show you that she can go get things for you, and she'll give you the phone in case of an emergency. She'll open the fridge. She can get things out of the fridge for you. Stellar is pretty much the ideal of what we hope for out of our service dogs when they're done their training. She can even pick up a credit card. Something that thin, she can pick it up and bring it back to you.
So are the people that are here, some of them are veterans with service dogs or supporters?
We have a lot of people here. We're anticipating about 450 people here tonight. A lot of them are donors or volunteers or guests in the area. Those are the people who have been spending a lot of time with these dogs in order to get things ready for them. There's only 7 trainers on staff. So when we have 40-something dogs on property, depending on the day, it takes a lot for these volunteers and other members to step up and be able to come in and help these dogs get ready, whether it's handlers classes or just spending time with them in the kennels, taking them for walks, things like that. All of that helps with their training process so that the trainers aren't as stretched as thin.
Okay, let's go ahead and go down here, and I'm going to
Sure.
walk back on my speaker.
Go for it.
I'll just follow you.
Okay.
So talk about what's happening
So as you go around the room, you'll see medical equipment and crates. We teach them how to be comfortable with all of these situations. As you come to this side of the room, Dumplin is currently giving another demo. She's being handled by Fran, who is our intake placement manager. And she's about 6 months into her training, so we're hoping that she'll graduate soon. But you'll see a lot of different environments where there's open space, as well as we have these little sets of stairs off to my right. We teach the dogs how to jump up onto those and off of those on cue, so that getting in a car or anything like that is of no issue. You'll also see a mannequin that has a bear mask on. This is mainly to startle the dog and get them used to the idea that being startled is okay as long as they recover. So we have random mannequins like that throughout the building. As we move around, you're going to see things like a little kiddie pool with balls. Randomly, we will take things like a phone or a credit card or something, keys, and bury that in there. And we will train the dog on what the word is in order to go get the keys or a phone or a credit card, whatever the cue is, so that they can actually dig through and identify what object we're looking for. We use this a lot with a lot of our advanced dogs who are going to be placed soon with either a veteran or a client with mobility disabilities. It's very key in the process. You'll also see storage for all of our items as we go around. So we have things like skateboards and different tug toys. And then all through these drawers off to my right, there are different items that we use for leashes, clickers, harnesses, different things in order to get them ready for what they do. The biggest task that we've actually found so far before we got the cats, which are only about a week or two here, is this stuffed cat off to my left. It actually moves on battery operation, and a lot of the dogs are really scared of it rather than want to attack it, which is great. Because we like when the dogs don't have any sort of prey drive and are capable of just being able to live in these situations. You'll also see mannequins over here. We like to dress the mannequins up as differently as possible with some of the clothing that you wouldn't expect to see in a normal situation. So trench coats, bigger hats, and when we go to do things like a therapy dog test or a week 12 test where we are actually making sure this dog is ready to be placed, you will see these dogs walk around as people are wearing these items in order to try and spook the dog, startle the dog, get them used to a public situation where they may run into anything you want. And that's the idea, is no matter what happens, the dog is going to be fully capable. And that would bring us back to our apartment situation, which again was a IKEA donation at our last location.
It's good to have corporations that are stepping forward.
Oh, it definitely is good.
There's a lot of them now across the country.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. We have a lot of great donors from these corporations that are willing to help us out. Purina has been great with getting us dog food in order to save us some expendage. Like I said, IKEA with donating us all of this furniture so that we can have these apartment setups, because a lot of our dogs that we take in from shelters may never have seen a home, so they don't know what to experience. So between this and going to their foster homes on the weekends, that's the only exposure they're going to get until we place them in their permanent location.
This has been interesting for me, though, especially, well, I've been doing this for 11 years, but the last 3 years with our 4 Alliance member organizations, and most of them, I would say probably 90% of them, are either founded by, or led by, or have people helping that are just like you, veteran. You've been there, you've been through the experiences, and was it your Walter Reed experience there that actually led you here?
It was. So for me, my whole life was taking care of my guys and taking care of my vets, and that's what I knew. Being in the Army for 11 years, that's what I did. And when I ended up at Walter Reed for 2 years and they said, you can't serve anymore, you can't deploy again, honestly, I was crushed. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And when I was introduced to service dog work, it was an opportunity for me to take my experience and still allow me to help other vets. And I was able to transform that and direct it here, which has been great because we just started our Operation Full Circle program, and I've been a key instructor in that process. which doesn't normally happen for a new employee, but they realize as a veteran who works here, I'm able to connect with that clientele and make those bonds a little stronger, which gives them a lot more comfort. A lot of our clients who come in here have either PTSD, TBIs, they're uncomfortable in public with new people. And you'll see as you walk around the building, there's a lot more mirrors and things hanging up in corners. Those weren't there until we started this process. So for me to be able to come in and help these veterans adapt to this new experience and gain that courage and confidence in being able to train their own dogs, that's been very key.
Vets helping vets.
Vets helping vets, that's what we do.
It's spreading across the country.
It is.
It's an honor to me to be part of it.
It is.
And also watch it.
Exactly.
It seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I would think the VA and DOD should be very happy to know that you guys are out here, right?
They should be, yeah. They definitely will be.
So, talk about what's going to happen today.
Sure.
Is there an event or?
So today is our 30th anniversary as well as our grand opening to this new facility. So this is basically our biggest celebration that we've ever experienced. We're anticipating over 450 people are going to show up to this event. We have a food truck outside. We have vendors from Breckenridge Brewery who have donated alcohol and water and drinks in order to be out front so that people can have these experiences while they're here. We're having self-guided tours of our new facility, like where Kathy and Stellar were. We have demos going on pretty much all night, as well as there are yard games like cornhole, ladder ball, things like that outside. You can go see the dogs in the kennels. You can go see the play yards where we're actually having them out there twice a day, and basically gaining a whole lot more exposure to the new facility so that you can fully understand that what we're working with every day and how much is actually going involved in getting these dogs ready to go to their clients.
So we can film some of these events, it's okay?
You can absolutely film some of these events. Yeah, oh yeah, you can absolutely film some of these events.
What should we do next?
I would say from here we could maybe go down to the kennels and actually see where our dogs are living. I can introduce you to a couple of the dogs, and that way you can get some of them on camera, and that would definitely probably be our next step.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem.
So, folks, we'll be back more at Michael Connors and on TalkingWithHeroes.com. Thank you for your service.us at the Freedom Service Dogs of America 30th year anniversary and grand opening celebration. It's freedomservicedogs.org. Please, when you see these videos, you're watching this video, please share it with as many people as you can, especially people that you think might really want to know about this, could be helped by this. So we'll be back with more from the Freedom Service Dogs of America 30th year anniversary. Welcome back, everybody. This is Bob Calvert, founder of TalkingWithHeroes.com. Thank you for your service.us. We're here still at the Freedom Service Dogs of America 30th year anniversary, and brand new location, brand new building celebration, and it's freedomservicedogs.org, and behind the camera, veteran Anthony Scott. And we're here with Michael, and Michael, tell us what we're seeing here.
Sure. So we are in one of what we have 6 different kennels on the well side. We also have an additional 4 kennels on what we call an isolation side. That would be where our dogs go when they originally come from a shelter, so that we can make sure that any medical reasons or things that come up don't spread to all of the dogs. Below me, you will see Dak. Dak is a professional therapy dog about to be matched with his client for his long-term life. And his goal basically will be to try and make therapy for any client or any person this brings in, whether that be children, adults with disabilities, whatever it is. His goal is basically going to make them happier.
He came right up to me, climbed on my lap.
He did. Dak climbed right into your lap. That's what he likes to do. He thinks he's a lap dog, which in this point in his career, he probably can be now. But Dak is one of my dogs, and he has been an absolute pleasure to train. He came from our foothills shelter, and he has been absolutely very smart and quick to pick it up. So he's perfect for what we're looking for. As you look around in this kennel, you're going to see a number of different kennels with dogs in here, so don't mind the barking. That happens. Good boy. That way you can get a realistic expectation and understanding of what our kennels look like. So Dak here is struggling because he does not like the fact that the floor has these little pebbles in it for grip. Dak, down. Sit. Down. Thank you. There are a number of dogs. If you want to look over any of these, you are more than welcome to. There are dogs in all of these kennels at this point. All of these dogs have come from shelters or rescues, and most of these dogs are fairly new to our program, just looking around at the names. And these dogs have been here just a matter of weeks or even days outside of the isolation 2 weeks that we have them for. Sarge, quiet. Yeah, his name is Sarge. He's also one of my dogs. He is brand new, so that he hasn't figured it out yet. And you'll see that these kennels are set up so that each kennel has their own fully centered location. They've got a bed in the back, they get water, they get their food in there. And the idea is that each one of these kennels, you can come and actually look at this one because Prairie's not in here. Each one of these kennels has a space where they can come in, be comfortable, and have their own space without the ability to see out. At the moment, that is what we are working with because that is what's going to reduce the kennel stress, because if the dog can't see all of what's going on, then it actually helps them at the moment. There are approximately 8 kennels in each section. Each one of these kennels we designate to a dog, and most of these dogs actually have an outside kennel as well that we can show you later if you'd like. The majority of these dogs have those kennels. The ones that don't, it's because they can dig their way out and we don't want to lose a dog. Would pretty much be the only reason that they're not out there. Dak, sit. Come on. Come in. Dak, sit. Down. All the way. Good boy.
Sarah was talking earlier. There was something else she was going to talk to us about.
Right. So we've developed this year alone our new program called Operation Full Circle. This is a brand new pilot program that the state approved. And basically what it is our veteran clients, we pick approximately 10 a year, 2 classes, 5 each, where the veterans will come in and they will learn how to train a service dog. They'll learn what to do, all the different commands, how to work with a dog, and most of all, they learn how to be patient because regardless if it's a service dog or a pet, it's still a dog, and they have to understand that. Dak, sit. All the way, down. Thank you. Good boy. Our Operation Full Circle program runs twice a year, and our clients come in and they will be here twice a week for 2 hours per session, and they will spend that time learning how to train the dog. They work with a variety of dogs from brand new to dogs that are about to be placed, and as we get through the process, they end up working with their own service dog, the dog that we will place with them. Once we make that match, after a week or 2 of working with that dog, they actually take that dog home, and they'll have that dog at home with them for a couple weeks. They get used to that. They're working with the dog when they come to class. They're learning how to handle having a service dog. And from there, we will give them their public access test, make sure that their dog is ready to go, that they're a good fit for that dog, that that dog is a good fit for them, which is a bigger task, and then they will become a service dog client pair, and they will graduate from our programs at that point. And from there, they can go anywhere they need to go because that is a certified service dog with their client.
Great. So where are we going to go next?
From here, I would say our best bet would be let's go check out the play yards and the outdoor kennels that our dogs spend time in, because that's where they spend a lot of time.
Yeah, that sounds good. For people that watched last year, the play yard at your last location, see this, they'll definitely do this.
It'll be good to see it.
Yeah. Okay, folks, so we're going to go out to the play yard. Again, this is TalkingWithHeroes.com. We're here at the Freedom Service Dogs of America 30th year anniversary grand opening celebration. at their new location in Englewood, Colorado, freedomservicedogs.org. We'll be back with more. Welcome back, everybody. Again, I am Bob Calvert, founder of TalkingWithHeroes.com, and thank you for your service.us. We're here at the Freedom Service Dogs of America 30th year anniversary and their grand opening celebration of their new location. And we're here still with Michael Connors. Michael, just briefly go over again a little bit, being a veteran, your deployments, and then you're going to give us a tour here. So tell us about that.
So 11-year Army veteran, 3 tours, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. A couple years of canine in the Army, and then came out here and learned how to train service dogs. Dak is here below me, and you will see him randomly walking around with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you our outdoor kennels and our outdoor play yards. Our dogs get a half an hour in the morning of a play yard session, which typically has between 10 and 15 dogs in it at a time. And then during the day, if it's not, well, weather permitting, I would say, they're in these outdoor kennels that are going to be behind us that you'll get to see up close and personal. And then if not, they're in those indoor kennels that you were just looking at. Additionally, they also get a 25-minute session of outdoor playtime in the afternoon, which will be about the amount of exercise that they need outside of the training that they get every single day. So if we start walking this way, you'll see that. Dak, let's go. Good boy. So off to our left here, we're going to go into what we call Yard A. Yard A is our first set of outdoor kennels. We are still in the process, as this is a new location, of filling everything in. So you'll see that some of our outdoor kennels have these black barriers in between, and some of them don't. Eventually, every kennel will have a black barrier in between them, as well as between the front and the back, so that the dogs don't have that barrier where they can see each other. You want them to not be able to see each other. Each dog has a kennel out here. You'll see that there are name tags on some of these kennels. As we go through, if there's a kennel that doesn't have a name tag, it's typically because we didn't have a dog to fill that kennel, or because of the fact that there was no barrier in between the two and there was no way to stop them from being able to see each other. We're now walking into what we call our play yards. We have 3 yards like this where you can see play equipment in the middle. It's a fenced in area, and as he gets tangled up in the microphone. So you'll see we have a play yard area fenced in fully, and we have play yard equipment for the dogs to go play on. As they go through, these dogs learn how to socialize with other dogs, how to do it appropriately. Dak, leave it. Good. And then they get to actually experience what appropriate play looks like with these other dogs. Like I said, we have 10 to 15 dogs in here at a time. In a yard this size, that's a lot of dogs. And typically we have 2 trainers in every yard as we go through and do a play group. And you'll have the dogs and they'll be able to go through and play on the equipment. There's rope toys or balls for them to play with, things like that for them to be able to play together. There's also going to be water buckets out here for them at all times. And we regularly get to experience how they react to other people walking around or other animals that are in the area. We've had everything from rabbits to prairie dogs to hawks to, we've even had bull snakes out here quite often, actually.
Get inside?
Yep, we've had bull snakes get inside. Wow. Even out into our indoor or outdoor kennels out here. Actually, just this afternoon, I pulled a 3.5-foot bull snake off our back fence. They're out here a lot, and that's part of it. And they enjoy the fact that they have this area, and it works out good for them. We've relocated anything that shouldn't be here, and the dogs enjoy coming out here nonstop. We'll have volunteers bring our dogs out here, both for time to just hang out with them and cuddle them, as well as time to train them. The trainers will use this space as well as the training space upstairs. And then we'll take them out in the public in order to train them as well.
So the people that are watching right now, maybe there's veterans, military families, caregivers. What would you say to them as far as finding out more about them maybe benefiting from this too?
Sure. So for the purposes of anyone who may or may not be interested in a service dog, a therapy dog, an assistance dog. If you're thinking about it even being a remote possibility, look into our website. We have clients that will write statements and tell you all about the impacts they can have. Being a veteran that has PTSD and multiple TBIs, I can tell you that I don't normally sleep more than an hour or two a night, and it's broken. The nights I bring these dogs home, it's 6 hours a night, and it can be straight through. These dogs can have significant impacts. I don't go in public. These dogs have stopped panic attacks. If you're experiencing something like this, or you're having struggles at home or adjusting back to being a civilian, reach out to us. Look at our website, freedomservicedogs.org. We can let you know the different resources available and go through the process of figuring out what the best situation is going to be as far as you potentially getting a dog. We also want you to be realistic. A service dog isn't going to be that magic button where you push it and everything goes away. But it definitely does make a significant difference. And as long as you're understanding that this takes time and you have to adjust to it and be patient, it can significantly improve your life.
So what are we gonna show people next?
So next, our best option is to go out to our main area where you'll have the event.
Okay.
I believe we're going to have a guest speaker out there shortly who will be giving us our intro remarks.
Great, and we'll film it.
Exactly.
Great. Pleasure meeting you. Thank
You
you for your
too.
service to our country.
Thank you.
Anthony, thank you for helping. Thank you for your service. Okay, we'll be back with more from the Freedom Service Dogs of America, 30th year anniversary, freedomservicedogs.org.